The 2014 Australian Capital Territory Community and Government Award winner is Jan Mason from the department.
Wow. I'm now wishing that the writing was a bit bigger. I may struggle to read it. It was written at about 4:30 this morning. I wanted to talk about 4 P words: personal, pride, people, and power. So just a little about each of those. On the personal note, I come from a large family, mostly girls, and as a younger person, I was an elite athlete. I was very competitive, very driven, very fit. Difficult to sort of acknowledge that now, but at the time I was very, very fit. I competed at state level in swimming. I was an A-grade basketballer, representative softball player, state rep javelin thrower, and I loved this stuff. I now have a severely arthritic knee, which slows me up a bit, and I've turned my interests to other things. One of the things, however, I've carried through from my life as a child and a young person is a message from my father. As a father of 5 girls and 1 boy, he used to tell us as children that girls can do anything these days. And it was an amazing message. The messages that we receive as young people, we often carry with us throughout our lives. And that's one that stuck with me. I believed it, and I still believe it. I'd also like to talk with pride about some of the things that I've been privileged to work on during the course of my career. Just a few things. I've worked in a number of different sectors. I'm pleased to be a finalist in the Community and Government Award, and I've worked in both community and government. I've worked in youth refuges. I've worked with homeless people, and I never forget those experiences of dealing with people who are in desperate situations. I've worked for the New South Wales Government in the Department of Housing and the Office of the Ombudsman. I've worked in the private sector as an investment banker, and I've worked in the Australian Public Service in a range of roles, working on the budget, working on resource management improvement, corporate asset sales, ministerial and parliamentary services, and a range of other things. I'm proud to be one of the few members of my family that's successfully completed tertiary study. Again, I think education opens many doors for both women and men. So a background in studying English, history, politics, and psychology. So what's that got to do with the Department of Finance? That's a good question. I've also studied social science and continuing or adult education. Again, not much to do with the Department of Finance, but after having worked for the department for a number of years, they actually did send me to Harvard to learn about business. So I'm grateful, extremely grateful for that opportunity. I've also worked on some of the largest transactions in the world in which they occurred. Telstra 1, Telstra 2, the AMP listing, and currently the sale of Medibank Private. I do hope they do as well as Telstra after listing. It's been a pleasure to work on both. Other things I want to mention are people, not so much by name because there are too many to thank, some very loyal people. I'm fortunate to have an executive assistant who's worked with me for 16 plus years. I couldn't do what I do without her. I also have an executive officer with whom I've worked for about 15 years. He is here tonight. Thanks, Greg. And unfortunately, Denise, my EA, could not be here. I wish she were. I'd also like to acknowledge my partner since last century. Last night when we were talking amongst the finalists about how useful it would be to have a wife, I can highly recommend it. Thanks, Annie. Although we do have a non-typical relationship, we are each good at different things. We're a great partnership and not at all stereotypical in our roles. Finally, on the people side, I'd also like to acknowledge the great work done by the team that are in my business group, some 400 people who together achieve truly great things, and none of us can do things alone. We all depend and rely on other people and trust them and believe in them. The last P word I wanted to mention was power. Power is something that women often shy away from. We sort of cringe when we think about power. We shouldn't. We should be pleased to have it, pleased to exercise it. As with most power situations, avoid abusing it, to use power for good ends and to make a difference in the world. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is being able to create a working environment where I hope that the people I work with feel like they can give of their best and feel encouraged to do so and valued when they do. Other things that I'm proud of in the Department of Finance, which, by the way, Laurie does welcome ambitious women, so it's a shame you left the public sector. Workplace giving program is something we have in finance where we can donate to charities through the payroll system, and that's something that I established within the department. We also have a serious illness register where people who are fortunate to have good health can contribute a certain number of days each year to a pool which can then be used for people who are suffering life-threatening illnesses. People who have cancer or other very serious illnesses can draw upon that pool that's donated by other staff. And finally, the Career Starters program, which takes young people straight from school and into the department at the most junior level, and those young people have been fabulous for the department, both men and women, and I'm very proud of that program also. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much. I'm incredibly humbled, delighted, overwhelmed and thankful for the person who nominated me, and when I find out who it is, I'd like to thank them personally. Thank you.